Hello again everybody, it's Kathy and Rosie Vesperina, and now we're into the final leg of our very full ride that started at about 7:50 in the morning and finished around 3:15, 3:30 in the afternoon. So this is the last leg. We've had a lovely look up at Crackneck to see if we could find some whales, but we didn't see any. And now we're heading back home. I left the rest of the group up there, and myself and Marie and her husband rode back home because we live in a similar area. I'm trying something a little bit different with this voice recording in that in the other videos I recorded into my iPhone in the Memo note taker, and then I just transferred that file onto my laptop and then inserted it into the video. But this time I'm trying recording directly into the video in Premiere Pro. So I'm not 100% sure how well this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. We're heading down that road that we came up to get up to the lookout. I mentioned in the last video that this area I come up to quite a bit, but I have never actually driven up or down it. Usually I walk up from Shelley Beach, so it's been nice to see what the road is like. There's some beautiful houses, and what a lovely place for them to live. The instructions that we got from the other ladies that we were riding with was to get home you just follow the road, turn left, and I think turn left again, and we would get to where we needed to be. So that's what we're aiming for. I have it plugged into the Garmin, as you can see there as well. Sometimes I forget to look at that though, but we're doing our best. It's Baddo Bay area, and it's a lovely area. Years ago it wasn't quite so nice, but nowadays it's really popular for new home owners or new home buyers, and they're buying potentially the older houses in the area, and then they're renovating them into beautiful little cottages and things. So it's lovely riding around here. So that was a left turn, so I think we were on track. And then at some point, I think at the end of this road, we turn left again and get on the Central Coast Highway, or the entrance road, but also the Central Coast Highway. So let's see if that's what happens when we get to the end of the street. Still really quietish on the streets, although there was a lot of cars up at the car park, wasn't there? And it's quite narrow to get out of now that they've actually built it as a car park. It wasn't quite as difficult to get in and out of before when it was just gravel, but now they've made it into proper car parking spots and made it like a road. It's a little bit tighter to get in and out of. Here's our next left turn, so we're on track, and by the time I get to this point I know where I am, which is really good. We're still in Baddo Bay, but when we go around the corner and head further down, we end up in Foresters Beach area, or Foresters. And one of my first rides with one of my other new friends was up to Foresters Beach from home to the coffee shop to have a coffee. So I kind of know this area really well. I like the roundabouts on this part of the road because they're quite wide and big, and so I don't feel like I'm having to do really tight corners. As we know, I don't like the tight corners. During the week I'm always wishing that I was out riding instead of working. I've mentioned before that I work in Sydney a few days a week and then work from home, And in winter time, I leave in the morning in the dark. I catch a 5:40 something train in the morning, so it's obviously dark. But then I don't get home till dark as well. So during the weeks, the days of the week that I work in the city, I don't get to see sunlight. If I don't go outside the office, I don't get to see sunlight, which is very unpleasant. So I can't wait until October to the long weekend when we're able to change the clocks for daylight saving, because then I get home and it's still light. And sometimes I ride down to the waterfront and we take our lunch down there. My partner takes his car, and we sit down at the waterfront and eat our dinner. Sorry, not lunch, dinner. Eat our dinner down there and watch the sunset, which is just beautiful. So I can't wait for daylight saving to start again. We're heading up to Erina Heights area. That turn to the left was the turn to Terrigal, which we've done before when we've done a ride to Terrigal, coming from the other direction obviously. And this is the road through kind of Erina Heights up to the big intersection at Erina. Every now and then on this road, I really like this road, but every now and then on this road there's, I don't know what you call it, there's like scratching patches on the road, big patches, which make it a bit tricky when you're on a bike, because there's quite a lot of grooves on it, and that makes it tricky to ride over. I feel like the tyres get stuck in the groove, which isn't pleasant at all, so you have to be a little bit careful of that. But other than that, I really enjoy riding this road. It's only a 60 kilometre an hour road, but and it feels like it could be more than that if the council would allow it. But I think because there's so many houses on the sides of the road, they've kept it at 60 so that there's not any crazy driving. I think people tend to drive it at 70 and ride it at 70, even though it's only 60. I don't, of course, because I have to stick to the speed limit on my L's and do the right thing. But it does feel like you could ride it and drive it at 70. So getting closer to the big intersection at Erina, where you can go in 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 different directions. And I was really nervous about this intersection and riding it on Rosie, but I've done it a couple of times now, and it's actually not too bad after all. It's just like everything, once you do something for a while, over and over again and repeat it, you get used to doing it, and it doesn't become as scary. Look at that sky. It was such a beautiful day for really impressive skies. They just felt like really big skies. I know the sky is the same size no matter what, but sometimes the shape of the clouds make it feel like it's so much bigger. We're at the big intersection, and for a change we've got a green light, so able to go straight through. If to our left over a bit is where you can head to Erina Fair, but obviously we're heading home, so we're going down Central Coast Highway, or the entrance road, whichever one you want to call it, heading towards Gosford now. The intersection ahead to the left takes us to Greenpoint Shops, which we've been to before when we've gone to meet our rider friends. We've done that at the Greenpoint Shops, but this time we're going straight ahead towards home. This section along here is 70 kilometres an hour. Sometimes people do a little bit more along here, just depending on the day. but it can get really busy on here because it's the main route back from Gosford, sorry, out to Erina, but then back into Gosford and out to Sydney. So we've switched down to the 60k zone now, heading into East Gosford. And heading down towards Gosford waterfront now. This corner here doesn't look tight, but when you're riding it, it feels tight. I don't know why. And these are the East Gosford shops. And past there's a school here at the next intersection that is on both sides of the road, so there's a pedestrian walkway that crosses over the top so the kids don't get squished, which is good. I'm not sure what's happened here with the angle of the camera, because now you can't see Rosie's face at all. It seems to be cut off and you can only just see the top of the GPS. So I must have bumped it or something when I was riding and didn't even notice it, but that's okay. So down past the Gosford waterfront to our left, you can't see that very well, but that car park, lots of people come here and park and pop their boats in the water and either do a sail or jet ski or speedboat. The water area is beautiful around there, so it's a lovely spot for doing all of that water stuff. I'm yet to put my stand-up paddleboard in it because I have a bit of a shark phobia, but maybe I'll try it this summer. So this path now will be familiar to people that watch, because in my other videos you will have seen me come up through Gosford in this direction towards home, past the police station on our right, the church first and then the police station on our right, and then into town. And I've talked about those two buildings that you can see straight ahead, the two tall ones, when I've been riding from the opposite direction. And they're the new buildings that I would say are 99.9% finished. I don't think people have moved in yet, but I think in the next coming weeks potentially they will. And I think there'll be some shops and things that are rented in the bottom area to try and zhuzh up this Gosford area a little bit more. And there are a few people that I know that have purchased in there, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. But they look great from the outside, so it's nice. So through the centre of town of Gosford now, 40k zone through here, so that everybody's safe. There's lots of pedestrians that kind of wander around, so it's important. And up past the train station on our left and underneath the walkway that joins the train station to the other side of the street. And we've talked before about the new university building that's going up to our right, up ahead. That feels like it's almost finished, I think. There's still a lot of questions around parking. You can see it better now as we drive past. It's beautiful architecturally. Still a few questions by the community about where people are going to park, but I'm not sure whether the university building has its own parking underneath and that's where students would park, but I guess we'll find out. Nearly home now, and up here is where I do my usual right hand turn towards home, and before we came up to this area just near the police station earlier, I had pulled over just to say goodbye to Marie and her husband and let them know that I'd be turning off up here a little bit. So when we got to this point, I just gave them a little wave very cautiously, because I'm scared if I take my hands off the handlebars, but it was a little wave to say goodbye as I headed round the corner towards home. This is this road that we've spoken about before, and I feel really nervous when I get over the crest of this hill and I look over and I feel like it's very steep to get down. It doesn't feel that steep when I'm in the car, but when I'm on Rosie it feels steep. Last hurdle is just to get through this roundabout, but I'm only going straight ahead, so it's a small roundabout, but luckily I'm only going straight ahead. Thank you for watching. We're just about home again now. I will see you in the next video that I make. Bye for now.